Oh yeah. This is my my video portal.
What does that consist of?
Well, when you own and manage and run a print shop, you can do all this stuff, right? You know,
It's so weird how I call you up. It is like you are the daggone business. It's like
yeah.
you don't have to go anywhere to do a lot of stuff, brother.
No.
Hey, Roundup, what's going on, everybody? Greetings, class. Happy MLK Day to you today. I hope everybody's doing well. How's the weather up there in the District of Columbia?
So actually, I talked to my folks that are down in the Shenandoah Valley, and they were having snow a little while ago.
You're up
But
in altitude, though.
yeah, they are. Then in the DC area, it was chilly this morning. It's not freezing. It's in the lower 40s.
That ain't bad.
No, it's been sunny all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, thanks for taking the time. Go ahead.
down there.
It's chilly today. Very chilly today, bro. So
Okay.
I'm like, we're in the upper mid 40s, so a lot more colder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful, though, my friend. I'm thankful.
Yeah, man.
So, Roundup, we're going to talk today about Chris has got qualified actually for these business credit lines. We're going to share with you his step-by-step exactly what he did to qualify for this stuff. Chris Burch is a full-time entrepreneur, actually a friend of mine and a mentor too. He does business. He's been in business. How long you been an entrepreneur, Chris?
Forever. Yeah, I'm 44 now. The last job I had was working at a summer camp when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm. So you've been entrepreneur forever, yeah. So Chris was hooked up with another company that we're going to talk to you about. And if you don't want to hear us blab, you can always just go to the video and the link, the link in the video description, and go ahead and see how much you qualify for it too. But Chris is going to walk us step by step how he went through this process. And the good thing about this stuff is you do not need to even have an LLC set up yet. This company will help you. Round up. I'm Chris Haskins. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. And doing that, I just want to bring to you the most up-to-date information that I can find, beating the streets, shaking the trees. I get 1 million people contacting me to come on and share different products, but I have to vet them all. So that's what we're doing today. I've already vetted this company, and you're going to talk to Chris Burch, and he's going to share with you how he was able to get over $100,000 in business credit lines to do whatever the hell he wants to do. Chris Burch, what's up, homie?
Not much, man. Not much. Another day in sunshine.
How you hanging in there with the printing and the shutdown and the pandemic and all that good stuff?
I was talking to an associate earlier today, and now typically every 4 years, this week for us in the print world is busy as can be because we have an inauguration for our next president.
Yeah, that's right.
We are doing this much printing right now.
Are people showing up for the inauguration?
Nobody's even being allowed to come. There are very few select guests that had invitations, along with the House and the Senate members that are going to show or will be there. And then we had all this turmoil last week with people, rioting at the Capitol. So now this town is in complete lockdown. You can't I drove actually not far from the Capitol. You can't get within about 4 blocks of the U.S. Capitol.
You got guards and AK or assault rifles.
You got metal fences. You got guards with AKs every 5 or 6 feet going down the sidewalk.
Sad.
Yeah, I heard this morning. So the inauguration is in 2 days on Wednesday. There's going to be 25,000 National Guard on the street just around the Capitol.
How much is that shit costing?
Who knows, man?
Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, we don't want to get too political, but
no. But my point being, what you're asking about is how business is in general. So normally this week we'd be printing up, party information. They'd have all the different presidential balls. They would have all of the nightclubs, people coming in town, from Atlanta, from New York, all over the place. It would typically it's a celebration. And this year we're basically going to be sitting in the house. Maybe if we're politically inclined to watch it, we watch it on TV or on the internet, and
Mm-hmm.
that's about it. So your
That's
point,
crazy, man.
what would we normally be doing? We would normally be pretty darn busy right now doing last minute stuff, but not this year.
Well, I'm glad that I had an opportunity to share this time with you and with my Roundup homies. Listen, Roundup, Chris is going to just go over what happened, how he was able to do this. And if you're interested in getting qualified to see how much you qualify for, that link is in the video description. Chris, give us the backstory of your business and why does this business credit lines even raise your spidey senses, so to speak?
I learned long time ago is if you can get it when you don't need it, that is the best time. Meaning as if I don't need cash, but I'll take a line of credit because I can use that line of credit and not have to use cash.
Good.
And that's from a businessman standpoint. These lines, and we'll go into details if you want, but you can use these lines for a short term. Let's say it's a project. Let's say for my print business or for my real estate business. If I just needed to make a supply order today and I knew in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 2 months that I could pay that back, I'd rather use that line of credit. Not to jump too far ahead, but most of these lines start out at 0% interest for up to 12 months.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's basically cash available to you to use at your own discretion to invest in your own business. It doesn't have to be a brick and mortar business. These funds are available for pretty much whatever you want to use. You just need to be careful with how you use them.
But who is this not for, Chris?
This is not for someone that has proven not to be able to manage their own money. And I don't even want to say startup is a bad thing. I think this is a great use for startup as long as you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. It's not for indiscretionary funds like shopping, going out and buying something that stands no chance of recouping any sort of gain. Because these loans or lines, they do have a timestamp on them. They are going to start incurring interest at some point.
Yeah.
You are going to owe the full principal that you borrowed plus whatever interest it incurs until you make it whole again.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like we need to use these for investment purposes or business purposes only.
Yeah. I mean, I used one of them. I'll give you a perfect example to purchase a piece of equipment for my business, right? Most people would say, oh, that's kind of crazy because you're going to pay interest on top of it. But if I can take the funds that I'm recouping from that piece of equipment and pay that line of credit down as fast as possible, then I basically got free financing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think it takes a level of maturity in your business to understand what the definition of really free is. When we think about loans and getting pre-approved for stuff, someone's going to let you borrow so much money. When you look at it, it's like money you didn't have yesterday, you got it today. It's just kind of a maturation thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely agree with that. Again, it's not for going out and creating more debt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It affords you the luxury to stay cash positive and use these lines at a rate for a 12 to 18 month period, not paying interest. When it does incur interest, you can still use it. I mean, some of the lines on the program I was set up with are in upwards of $50,000, and that's just one line of credit. Well, even at the high interest rate, once it starts incurring interest, if you can use those funds to strategize, even if you have to make an interest payment for a couple months,
get it back.
What can 50 grand do in the world of real estate? 50 grand can turn into 75, 80 real quick.
Yeah.
I promise you that the interest rate that you're going to pay on that line it's nowhere near that 25 or 30 grand that you could make with that 50.
I mean, even if you were to make 5 or 10,000, I'm just like, this is peanuts for what you're spending.
Yeah.
And when I think about hard money, Chris, I mean, just every time you use the money, you got to pay points. Every time you borrow the money, you got to pay interest up front. Every time you do the money, you got closing costs.
And they're not giving you 100% of the money anyways.
That's crazy.
Right. They're giving you what, 70, 80% loan to value.
If that. Yeah.
If that. Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever used the hard money? I know you've been fortunate enough to kind of have been a business person for so long. So,
you know what? I almost did. And I almost did. I was so close. I sat down at the table. They broke the whole deal down. And when I saw the monthly payment that was going to be due on their money, then I saw points on the back end of what it sells for. And then that money disappears quick. Most hard money that I've talked to, 9 to 12 months is the most that they'll do it for.
Yeah.
So you got to know what you're doing, you know?
So round up, as we'll continue talking to Chris, I'm going to go ahead and if you don't want to listen to us blab, you can just go to the link in the video description, find out how much you qualify for. Yes, it's one of my associates, one of my affiliates. We make a few dollars on this. I'm putting the disclaimer out there, but that's what we're in business to do, right? So it has been able to help Chris. Matter of fact, we did a deal together. So I have seen this in action. I promise you, this stuff works. I'm not here to sell you the type of wood nickel. I've seen Chris go down there and do this, and we're going to continue to to talk to you about how we did it. So if you want to go ahead and get qualified, just go to the link in the video description, then head on over to the site, put your information in. All it is name and email address. So Chris, tell me about the process dealing with Fund and Grow. My people's over there, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was obviously affiliated with Fund and Grow through your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked on the link in the video. It took me to the basic registration page, entered some criteria. The following day, I received a email correspondence and then a follow-up phone call from the associate at Fund and Grow that had been assigned to my application.
Mm-hmm.
They did a credit check that day. Actually, on the phone. I think he ran it while we were talking. At the time, there were 3 minor derogatory flags on my credit. He wasn't concerned about it. He actually said that they have a program as well as an organization within their company that helps remove derogatory things. Now, these things have been on my credit, probably 15 years. So they can easily get those off because they haven't been reported. They just sat there idle. It had no bearing on the loan itself or the lines itself.
Mm-hmm.
They just said, we can get you more money in the second round and third round if we strategically get these certain issues removed from your credit.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I will point, and I'm sure the question will come up. It does not show on your credit, but it is right. It does not show as any of these lines are not going to show up on your personal credit. They base the rate and the amount, the dollar amount is based on your credit score, but it does not go on your personal credit.
Gotcha. Based on your credit score, but not on your personal credit.
Your credit worthiness. Do you pay your bills on time? That's what that's the initial concern that most people might have is, oh, I have decent credit or I don't have enough credit. Well, Fund and Grow actually works with people to improve their credit. Let's say you only qualify for 10, 20,000, right? Maybe 5,000. I'd recommend at that point, possibly taking that line of credit, doing some things to improve your personal credit. And Fund and Grow has programs that'll help you with that.
Don't they have like a company that will walk you down? I mean, I've never seen a company that will help you improve your credit and pay off some other stuff to help you get qualified.
And help remove any derogatories that are on
crazy,
it.
Man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So round up, I forgot to mention, you will get a discount. I have negotiated, I forgot to tell you guys, since we do so much business with these guys, they have given me a discount. It's a $500 discount on their services. So you have to use our link. You have to come through our portal. in order for you to access that discount. So that link is in the video description. So Chris, after you turned in all your financial stuff, no, before we get there, I forgot. I remember you said something about being your bankability and just the general speaking in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
We don't even go to banks because we write off so much stuff. Talk about that with you.
So the bankability part for me is I have tried for years and years in business to qualify for a traditional bank loan or a traditional bank line of credit. I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but they are going there. I mean, I've been in business since 2005, right?
Tell it like it is.
Yeah. And at first people would say they weren't qualifying me for a loan or line of credit because I wasn't asking for enough money, but I was asking for what was manageable for me in business. What did I think was something that was manageable? And yeah, part of it was it wasn't enough money for a traditional bank to loan, but at the same time, the criteria is so high. Yeah, they're going to still check your personal credit. They're going to check and see if there's any dings on your credit. Any lender is going to check that. But then they'll come back with this whole heap of reasons as to why it doesn't work. It was whether maybe it was an equipment loan that you requested and they don't think the equipment is valued at whatever your purchase price is. So they're not willing to do it. It's more red tape is what it comes down to.
Yeah, my thing is I remember trying to apply for loans. It was like, dude, you're just wasting your time over and over again, writing off everything. It's almost like a catch-22 for us entrepreneurs, would you say, with the write-offs? And
Yep. Complete waste.
So Roundup, this stuff is going to be on your business credit. And Chris, what if somebody doesn't have it? I know you have an established LLC. Do you know how do they look at people that don't have an LLC?
Fund and Grow doesn't care. They can actually help you set one up if you so choose. They're structured. I don't know if they actually set it up or they recommend, because your LLC would be in whatever state you're creating that business in. I don't know if they offer that, but they do have resources in their portal to get that LLC set up as well. Gotcha. But it's not needed. It's not a requirement.
So let's say you're going through the process. How does it work? Do they open up, or just explain to me? Let's say you got approved. I mean, you got no doubt, you got a large amount of financing.
Yep.
How do you get access to those business credit lines? Is it like with Home Depot or Lowe's or?
So it is normal traditional lines of credit: American Express, Fulton Bank, Bank of America, Chase. Right. So if I went to Chase directly, I wouldn't know what to put in all the little columns to qualify for the line of credit that I got approved with through Fund and Grow. But Fund and Grow already has relationships with these institutions, and they can pitch someone like myself and my business that has pretty decent credit, it has a good length of credit as well. And they knew which lenders to pitch my request for lines of credit to, based on what they saw in my application.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Why wouldn't you just go do this on your own? I'm thinking I can just call up the banks and ask for a business credit line, no doubt.
I've tried that since 2005. It doesn't work. Nope, doesn't work.
It's crazy when I talk to Mike and the relationships that they have. Well, you know more than me. Tell me about that, Chris. I mean, it's almost like they got people on speed dial, or I don't know.
They will respond within hours or within the same day to whatever request that I might have. So like for them to say, well, Chris, we're looking at your criteria and we're going to put applications in with Bank of America, Chase, and American Express, and what was the other one? Fulton Bank. So I said, well, I guess go ahead. So within 2 days, I got the first approval, which was American Express. They approved it for $25,000, and Fund and Grow then informed me they were going to put in for a balance increase. The next day, American Express upped the 25,000 to 50,000, and they
Wow.
I don't know how they did it. They just did it. So
That is crazy, Chris.
the next day. Um,
Lord.
yeah, and I know I've said this before. I was trying to pull up the
Go ahead.
breakdown of
Round up, get your questions in while Chris is talking about how you will qualify for these large business lines of credit. Get your questions in for Chris because he's already gone through the process.
Okay, I was wrong. American Express approved me for 18,000 on the first request,
Okay,
and then increased it the next day to 50,000.
that's crazy, man.
Yep,
That's crazy.
yep. And this was not even a year ago. This was January 28th last year.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, unreal. But I was trying to get the balances of approval. Got it. So American Express is 50, Chase Bank is 18, Bank of America is 12, and Fulton Bank is 20.
So it's almost like they're layering these credit lines together to give you one big one.
Yeah, exactly.
You can use them.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and you can use them in different scenarios. You could use the American Express for a specific project. That's, Chris Haskins' real estate deal, whatever it is. And I could say, well, Chris, how much you need to rehab the house? Well, I need 50. Okay, great. Boom. I can now fund Chris's deal. We work out whatever agreement, but then I still have the other lines, another 18, another 12, and you can use them. It's not like you're restricted, I guess is the best way to say it, because you can use these different lines for any purpose.
Yeah, I'm thinking with that, I would just use it for construction costs because if I bought the house, however I financed it,
Correct.
you can literally take those cards to a Home Depot or to any supply house.
Yep, exactly. Swipe it right at the counter and start your project.
Done with it.
Yep.
Done with it.
Exactly.
That's cool. Roundup. I'm just giving you the information how I see it. I've seen Chris go through this process. The man got over 100 grand. If you're out there looking for financing, at least give it a shot. See what you may qualify for with Mike. Mike Banks, my homies over there, Fund and Grow. They've been doing this for I don't know how many years. Yes, you could do it on your own. You could do it on your own, like Chris is saying, but I'm like the relationships they have. It's just unreal.
Exactly.
What would you say to somebody that's a little nervous about turning in their information or running? A lot of us are kind of squeamish when it comes to this credit thing.
I mean, this is an accredited company. There's nobody there. I mean, what did they just buy? Like a 200,000 square foot office building that they're now putting more, work centers, hiring more people in. This is no fly by night type of organization by far. They are. I don't want to say that they're accredited, but how they've treated me, that I would consider them accredited if you value my opinion of how they operate.
Yeah, even how they operate with me and how we do business together is it's world class.
Yep.
I gotta say, world class. They've been around. Round up, get your questions in if you got anything for Chris. The man's walking the walk, talking the talk. Not only talks it, but we hang out together in Baltimore. You remember Chris from our Baltimore video. Matter of fact, he was the one that brought that lead in. And you have another house up there in Baltimore, don't you, Chris?
Yep, we're actually just getting started on the renovation. So I'm gonna be posting videos and whatnot on YouTube as we go through that process, working on a row home in the city of Baltimore.
I can't wait to see that. Candy, I would like to use this for my first hold or flip. Good for you. Good for you. You can. Ray Taz. Do you have to have an LLC to get business credit lines, Chris?
You do not have to have the LLC set up. No.
So from my understanding, Ray has 50. Mike has people at Fund and Grow. They have people that will actually set up your LLC for you.
Yep.
I've seen it, man. What banks are preferable for small business? I don't know. That Chris might know.
Preferable for small business? None of them have helped me, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
No, I've spent more time submitting paperwork and going down the conveyor line of the qualifications, and you're waiting and you're waiting, and yeah, it's a waste.
That's terrible, man. Denise wants to know, with Fund and Grow, is the fee to get funding $3,000? And if I have an LLC, will they still look at my personal credit?
Okay, so there is a fee, but with Chris's link, I don't remember the dollar amount, but it's a drastic difference than what you would normally pay.
Yep.
And they will pull your personal credit, because that's how they determine your credit worthiness. It's not going to show up on your personal credit score. So it'll never show up that American Express or who are all these lines that you get approved for. Those will never show up on your personal credit.
So there is a fee, Denise. I can't even remember what it is, but I promise you, if you could go to right to their website, you're gonna pay more. They're giving us a $500 discount.
Yep. And
you can just find out how much you qualify for in the video description. The link to head over to Fund and Grow is in the video description, my rounduppers. David wants to know, how much did you pay, and can the credit card wire internationally?
That I don't know, but I do know from my travel experience years ago, you can use most credit cards internationally as long as you call in for pre-approval. Because if I just show up one day in Russia and start swiping my American Express card and I've never used it in Russia, they'll probably flag the account and put it on hold. So if you're going to use it that way, call the institution that your card is with and let them know I'm going to be traveling abroad. If you see any, charges, that's most likely me.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Or maybe he's doing business internationally, Chris.
Maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your credit score was, Chris?
Mine's above 700. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Fund and Grow does not require a credit score to get funding approved. They would like to see it above 720. If it is, that's not saying if it's lower, they won't get approval. They've just, from their experience in the years of them doing these lines of credit applications, they say the sweet spot is 720 and above to get maximum funding to these lines.
Gotcha. David, that's a good question. What were the terms on that, Chris? I know. Is there 12-month terms on it?
Each line is different. Bank of America was the shortest term. I think Bank of America was either 8 or 12 months, no interest. American Express was 12 months. Chase was 18 months. And Fulton, I believe, was 12 months as well.
Sweet. You said no interest.
0 interest on all cards, but the time frame that they allow 0 interest is different from each lender.
Gotcha. Yeah. Denise, can you tell me your interest rate? Oh, we just talked about that. Wow.
Yeah, 0%, anywhere from 6 to 18 months. It just depends on which lender you're approved with.
Gotcha. And do you have to pay Fund and Grow a fee for the amount that they're funding?
So they have 2 programs. And if you go back on Chris's channel, he did a sit down with Mike Banks at Fund and Grow. He breaks it down a lot better than I ever could. But they have 2 different ways to apply for these. One, you can pay up front. The other one is you don't pay, but they then take a percentage of whatever you're approved for. I don't know what percentage that is, but they have 2 different programs. So if you don't want to spend the money today to apply, they actually have, you can make 3 installment payments as well. You don't have to pay the full amount.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I think it's like Denise. Was that Denise? I think it's like $3,500, and if you use my discount, it's like $2,950 or something like that. Yeah. What's the fee? We just talked about that. Hey, Mark, do you manage the lines through Fund and Grow?
No, these are my lines of credit that I manage as a business owner. They do have an affiliate of Fund and Grow that you have to pay for it, but will basically do the line items for you. If you don't, they have a firm, and probably a CPA firm they work with, that would do that. But I already have those folks in place for my stuff.
You're already paying for that.
Yeah, I literally scan a statement and send it to my bookkeeper.
Got it. We talked about that the other day. Why would you do bookkeeping, y'all? Me and Chris were laughing. We used to both.
Man,
I did too, brother. Don't feel
people say I talk to business friends and they say I pay too much for it. I love the fact that I just don't have to do it.
one less thing on the plate.
Oh my goodness. Saturday morning or Sunday morning, drinking coffee, sitting at QuickBooks online and doing line item data entry. That's the worst.
Dude, I'd rather go paint a house or something.
Yeah.
That's rough. That just goes to business owners, entrepreneurs, brother. Do what you're good at.
Well, so Chris, you would agree with this, I know. It took all of us time to realize how much that little couple $100 a month, how much time you're losing by trying to save a couple $100. And it's painful because you're like, I can do it. And at first I wanted to see it. So I understood how it all worked.
Mm-hmm.
But then weeks would go by and paperwork is just stacking up. And because I'm not doing it, I don't want to do it.
You're dreading it.
Yep.
Dreading. I'm like, man, this does not make money.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you doing? Do shit that makes money. So I think we've all been there, Chris. I remember my accountant used to call me a shoebox boy. The shoebox boy coming in.
Full of receipts coming in. Yeah.
Round up, find out how much you qualify for it. That link for my discount for Fund and Grow is in the video description. Chris Burch, ladies and gentlemen, good friend of mine, entrepreneur, getting questions answered by the man that's doing it.
Yeah, man.
Entrepreneur, real estate investor. Thank you. I wish I would have got that house you did, man. Anyway, I killed that video. Remember I came by the house and you were like doing some final stuff with that staging company?
Right.
I deleted that video, man. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
I was going to come back and then you sold it in a day.
Yep.
I couldn't even get back to the house.
We listed it on a Friday, had an open house on Sunday, and had 3 offers Monday, ratified a contract on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
And if you recall, it was an all cash, no contingency offer.
That's right.
Wild.
About that.
Yep.
Yeah, about that.
Yep.
Karen wants to know, have you went through the second round yet, Chris?
I did. So second round was 2 weeks prior to COVID hitting the United States of America. So we spent about 2 months of going back and forth with associates at these different lending institutions that were for like a couple months working from home. So we just got correspondence this past November that there will be balance increases, but it's going to be based on some of the COVID relief funds that were being put out there. So we haven't solidified the second round yet, only because a global pandemic got stuck in the middle of our communication lines.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is cleared up now. It took time. And, Fund and Grow communicated the whole time with me and said, we feel good about it. It looks good, but people weren't moving normally. People were sitting at home trying to navigate.
Yeah.
Yes, the second round is coming. I got correspondence right before Christmas that I should have answers in January. So in this month, we should have the new lines extended.
Sweet.
And I'd be happy to come on, Chris, and let everyone know, how much they were able to up those lines. I mean, we're living in unprecedented times, so I'm not going to be surprised if it's a little less than I expected. But right now, you can't
100,000. I mean, you got 100,000.
Yeah, 100. I mean, if you can't do the first 100, good grief.
You need to think about, unless you're in LA, New York. Generally speaking, my roundup homies aren't there anyway. So if you can't try to figure something out with 100,000, man, you might want to rethink what business you're in.
Yeah.
Sora, I just jumped in. Hey, what are the most recommended banks for your startup real estate business? Is it advised to open up multiple business accounts?
Unless you wanted to have one account for the purchase and sale and one account to manage your project, like Chris knows, some hard money guys, they don't give you all the money up front. Now, Fund and Grow, you do, but using that example of having different accounts, you might want that account to manage a second account to manage that project. But I don't do it. I run it, I run it usually out of one account, but
Yeah.
but each entity is different, you
Yeah.
know.
That's true. So for me, who was that? Sora, good question. We've got flip bank account, long-term hold bank account. So, as you mature and what's the word? Hampton University. Matriculate. Thank you, Hampton University. You don't want to have your accountant cranking up hours, right? So if you can say over here is all for X, and then over here, is no X stuff. This is all Y. You give them less stuff to do. So it's really, it's up to you. Like Chris said, I think that was a good point. It's how you run it's what type of business you have and how you're going to run it. Because some people just wholesaling. I mean, it's just got expenses and you're just flipping paper. So.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in my 9 to 5 type of business, I have one account for the merchant, which is where credit cards deposit to, and a different account that's my operating account. And I only do that because you learn in business, customer declines a charge, they pull that money back out. Well,
they sure can.
I don't leave but so much money in that merchant account for that reason.
They can pull it right back, and you got to pay the fee on that, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm losing money on that swipe.
You know what's weird? I remember the first time I had to pay that on a $2,000 refund, Chris.
Yeah.
It opens your eyes up to being a business owner, right?
Real quick. Yep.
You pay for the charge when they bought it,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to pay for the return when they do that.
And the client walked out with the product. That's why
he got the physical product.
Yeah.
Oh, now you got a triple whammy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, if it's a digital product, that's a little different, but man, I think I've got hacked, man. Who was this guy? Alexander, I'm going to have to block you. Somebody hacked you.
Yeah.
Help me access I got 10 of these he's got here.
Huh.
Let me put him in timeout. I'm sorry, Alexander. I got to put you in timeout, bro. Lex, after a year of credit utilizations with different credit lines, do you have to have your credit pulled for a credit increase?
As of right now, no. Nope. I'm not saying that you won't. So I'll say that cautiously because, as I just mentioned, we're in the process of the second round, and nothing has come up about them having to pull credit again, but they might. I don't know.
Gotcha. So you'll know. Hey, there you go. Big Brother in Life, $39.97. If you go to my link, it's $34.97. So yeah, you'll get a $500 discount. Thank you for helping us with that. I can't even remember what this.
And that's a great deal because I recall it was like $49 about a year ago.
Oh yeah,
it was almost $5,000. Yeah, so that's huge. That's $1,500 difference with your code.
You know what's crazy, Chris? I think about all the money that I spent on hard money lenders.
Mm-hmm.
All the money I spent just on interest going out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like if you got this flat fee every year just to access the money,
right?
You can kind of put that in your mental Rolodex and say, okay, this is the cost of the money for this time.
I mean, hard money. Let's round number. You borrow $100,000 at 12%. What's your monthly payment?
$1,000.
Right, $1,000. So 3 months of hard money, you could get the same $100,000 now at zero interest for 6 to 18 months.
But don't forget the points, though, Chris, on hard money.
And so now you sell the house for $200, and they're charging you 5 points on the back end. So yeah, you just gave them $15,000.
It's a no-brainer, bro.
Yep,
it's a no-brainer. That's why I'm bringing this to y'all. I've already vetted these guys. My boy Chris has already been through them. So why not at least give it a shot? The link to sign up with Fund and Grow, you don't even sign it up. You're just finding out to see how much you qualify for. It's not like you're committing to anything. They'll give you a call. They'll say, hey, we need to get this. Well, Chris, do you put your information? Do they call you up? Then they ask you for what they need, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. They asked, the limited amount of paperwork they actually needed. It was basically an application, and they ran the credit. They asked for no documents. Like, they didn't ask for profit and loss of the business or balance sheets or anything that a traditional bank is asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I think this is not considered a traditional loan. This is a line of credit in the name of the business.
Yeah.
Yep.
Round up. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
What is this? Derek wants to know what are the lengths and interest rates of these credit? We got 140, 130 people on, Chris. Just want to see how this works. What are the lengths and interest rates for these credit lines?
The length is whenever you want to close it. So there's no limit. There's no expiration date. The expiration date is going to be the expiration date on the card that they give you. Right. The interest rates, it's as I said, it's dependent on each lender. American Express, from my experience in business, normally has pretty high interest rates after you get out of the 0%. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't still use that card in a short time frame or in a project that well exceeded the interest that I'm going to pay on that line of credit.
I got to tell you, I've seen American Express really change over the past few years when they lost that Costco account, Chris.
Okay.
Remember? Well, you were a merchant. You know the deal. It was like they're so bougie. They wouldn't even be.
I couldn't swipe American Express for like the first 5 years in business.
There you go.
It wouldn't even let me swipe their card. And then I had to qualify and do all this paperwork to get accredited with them.
Just to be able to receive payments.
Just to be able to swipe someone else's card as a customer. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, just to receive. They're a pain in the butt.
I remember they are. And then I'm going to tell you what I noticed when they lost that. I don't know if they lost it or it ran out with Costco. Okay. They were trying to get business, opening it up. So it's a lot easier to run. Let me ask you, is it a lot easier to run Amex nowadays?
It is. The criteria.
For me, it is.
Still, the criteria is still kind of, I mean, they're just a pain to work with. I don't know why. Like you said, they're like this bougie organization. Like, oh, we don't need everybody.
They're hurting now. Their stock is down too, I think.
Yeah.
Jorge, what kind of credit score do you need to apply? Thank you for coming in, Jorge.
Yep. So there's no requirement. I would say if you're not above a 650, probably I wouldn't waste a lot of time, but don't take that from me. Set up a consultation with Fund and Grow. Call someone. They'd be happy to share that with you. I don't know, but they recommend. They've found the sweet spot for them to qualify a business at the highest criteria. They found that 720 FICO and up is really where they're getting maximum funding for their clients.
Can you take some of that money out of the credit line? Say, don't they have a payment program, right?
Yep.
And you can, if you pay whatever, I don't know what it is, down. Can you take some of that out of the credit lines once you're approved?
Repeat it again.
Can you take some of the payment to Fund and Grow out of the credit lines that you're approved for?
Yeah, they have a program. They have a program that you can apply and put $0 down today. When you're approved, let's say you're approved for 20,000, 10,000, or whatever, Fund and Grow will take a percentage of those approved funds as their profit, and then you have the balance.
Gotcha.
You do not have to spend $1 today with them. I didn't choose to do that because for me, and I can't say everyone is fortunate as I am, I didn't want to give them a piece of the pie. Imagine if they had like 5% of the 100 that I was approved for, or whatever they get. I don't know what their percentage is. There's a whole lot more than that $3,000, right?
You look at things differently when you get older, brother.
Yeah,
look at things differently, and it's so crazy. I'd rather pay today. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said that $1,500 difference that I just made reference to. Put that in my pocket. I'm keeping that 15.
Yeah, even though it is spread out over time, it's still money. It's still money. That's how they get us. They spread it out.
Yeah.
Just lenders in general. Lex wants to know should I get a DUNS number, Chris?
It's not needed. I mean, years ago when I started in business, other business associates of mine said you have to get a DUNS number.
I remember those days.
I don't really, not to say I don't understand what DUNS. It's a business credit score. Very few people even use it that much anymore. And here's the reason I've learned is that, let's say a banking institution wants to report to DUNS your credit worthiness, they have to pay to report your information. DUNS charges the institutions. So let's say I have an equipment loan, right? Equipment loan. I'm current on payments, but I'm building no credit for the business because that company, whatever company it is, has to pay DUNS to report how good I am as a customer. Why would they do that?
Yeah, they got to pay.
Yeah. So I'm not saying don't get a DUNS. I would consult with whoever you're applying for a loan with on what their requirements are. They not one mention with Fund and Grow about a DUNS number.
Gotcha. I think maybe that's where she was going. He or she, Lex.
No matter.
I don't have a DUNS. I applied for one. I mean, back in 2007. I just Roundup. This is Chris Burch, real estate investor in Washington, D.C. We're talking about how Chris was able to qualify for $105,000 in business credit lines. If there's something that you think could benefit your business, head on over there to see how much you qualify. That link is in the video description, and you will, I repeat, you will get my discount. The Roundup discount is $500 off of their services. We've negotiated that for you. First thing I ask, they call, what's the discount? What are you going to give my people the discount? First thing, Lonnie Scruggs like, what's my discount?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Harold. Hey, Harold. Oh, did we answer that one, Chris? 5-year?
5-year loan? This is not a loan. This is a, imagine, okay.
You can show them, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's a credit card. It's a credit card that American Express, I have $50,000 to spend on. On Bank of America, I have $12,000 to spend on. It's not a loan. I could close these at any given time as long as I don't owe them anything. There's a zero balance. I could just get rid of them.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Harold. Hey, Harold. Nice picture. So they don't go by your personal credit, but why do they request for your credit score? Well, question.
Yeah. So they're not, it's not on your credit report. It's based on your credit worthiness to pay your bills in the past. Mm-hmm. So if you have done well by making on-time payments, making regular payments, no late payments, likely your credit score is quite good. So they're just basing these lines on the value that, hey, this guy has proven he knows how to pay his bills.
Yep.
And that's it.
You should be paying your bills on time anyway, really, in my opinion. I mean, and I'm not saying to be late because you pay more when you're late anyway.
Yeah.
Wilfred, hey, they can set up an LLC for you, but if you don't have a business currently, they'll set up your first credit line under an S corp. Oh, it sounds like Wilfred might have went through the system, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
Good for you, bro.
They provide that service. I didn't have to do it, so I'm just not privy to how they set them up, but I do know they offer that service.
That's right. You already had your LLC set up.
Yeah.
Wilfred, have applied, and it has been great. Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Great.
Good for you, Wilfred. Good for you, my friend. Maybe bring you on to hear your...
Might have to bring them on.
Yeah, Wilfred. Hey, man, email me, kris@krishaskins.com. Wilfred, I'd love to know your experience with them. Mike calls me all the time, man, how much we do business with him. Right, Chris, with a C.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll put it in the chat, Chris. What's your email?
It's cbinvestmd@gmail.com. cbinvestmd@gmail.com.
The Roundup, if you look in the chat, I just put Chris's email in there. Yep. Can they get to you by chrisburch.net? .biz too?
Yep, .biz. There's a portal right on the bottom. If you scroll down, you can enter your name, phone number, email. It'll come straight. I get extremely busy, so I'm not ignoring you. I don't respond immediately, but I do respond. It might take a day.
Gotcha. Wilfred. Timothy, do I need to use my personal credit?
That is the requirement of the application. Yep. They have to pull your personal credit to check your credit worthiness. Has nothing to do with necessarily the amount, but it is a factor that they use on the application. So yes, you do need to submit personal.
So it sounds like they pull your credit, but is not going to be reporting on your credit or your
That is
personal credit.
exactly, and they help you remove that inquiry when they do pull your credit. They help you get that off of your credit
Crazy,
as well.
crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy. Carrie, and hey, so after the 12th month, do you still work with Fund and Grow, Chris?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. They I just got an email. It was right after New Year's for them allowing the or informing me of how that line that second round will end up going. But yeah, so I don't know. Chris dropped off. I think it looked like something came up that said he overheated. So
I'm just too hot for camera, Chris. I'm just too hot, man. I'm too hot.
all the little color bars pop up, and then it said "too hot." I'm like, oh man.
You know what? As I'm trying to up my production game, I'm teaching YouTube now people how to start their channels.
Like myself.
Huh?
Like myself.
You have anyway. Chris has 10x his channel. 10x. We had a meeting today, so Chris is in my YouTube and Internet Marketing Mastermind. We talked about 10x in his channel. So, Chris, has YouTube been a benefit for your business?
Oh, without a doubt. I'm not only getting questions from around the world, not the country, around the world about equipment that we use, about benefits of doing things a certain way. People even commenting saying, hey, I have a video doing something similar. Check out how I'm doing it. So I'm learning from it while I'm also sharing information on how my business operates.
Yeah.
Just posted something earlier. I walked through. I did a half-hour video looking at a deal that is now not going to be a deal, but a deal, and how I can navigate a real estate transaction and whether it makes sense for me to drive my butt 30 minutes to look at the place. I did a video on how I pick apart a deal before I waste my time going there.
Good.
Yep.
Yep. Rhonda, thanks for the info. Do they look at all 3 credit bureaus? Also, can they take the fee out of your approval amount?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So first part of your question, I'm sure they do, because when a agency, any lender pulls your credit, they will pull all 3, and they will base your credit worthiness on the middle number. Mm-hmm. So if one said you're a 700, one said you're a 800, and one said you're a 760, they're going to go with the 760. Even though you have an 800 on one, they're going to take the middle number. Second part of your question, yes, you can apply with $0 today. Once you are approved, they will take a percentage of the funds that you're approved for. I don't know what that is, but their website is very clean, easy to read. There's no hidden fees. It says it right on that application page of the percentage they will take.
Yep, they can take that right off of that. Grinding for greatness. Chris, I guess me. Do you use Fund and Grow, or do I use hard money? Actually, neither. We have raised my clients. We have over 3 million. Is it 3 million? I think it's like 2.5 mil with Fund and Grow through my clients right now. But we have so much private money grinding for greatness. I'm glad you asked that. See, here's the thing. You got levels in this game, right? And you can't judge somebody's beginning with somebody else's middle. I've learned that. You can't look at somebody's middle compared to your beginning. Now, I'm not saying your beginning at all. But hard money, I have used hard money, but we have so much private money, including gentlemen like Chris, where we don't necessarily have to use any type of bank financing. Scott, how long? Nice beard, my brother. How long did it take? How long did you have to build history on your business credit in order to get approved for this much?
I didn't. It wasn't based on my business credit. They don't even know what my EIN number is to even look up the worthiness of my business. They got my LLC name. They looked it up to make sure it was in good standing with the state in which my business runs. And it was based on my personal credit worthiness. It was based on my FICO score.
Good question.
Yeah.
Riss. R. Hey, Riss. Did I say that right? Rice.
Yeah.
With Fund and Grow, did you use an existing business or did you create a funding entity for funding only, Chris?
I used my existing business only because I knew the credit worthiness of the business was there, the length of time in business was there, but it doesn't matter because it's based, as I continue to say, it's based on your personal FICO score.
Mm-hmm.
We just had one of your viewers just now say, I worked with them. They actually helped me set it up.
Yep. Yep. I don't know how they do that. David, when you do another round, do you have to pay another fee?
I do not think so. I'm not 100% certain, but I do not think so.
Denise, thank you, Chris and Chris, for educating us on this process, being transparent.
Yep.
Great way to get started 21. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for saying that. Thank you so much. Wolford, with the fee, the discount is about $34.97. That's right. We'll get a discount with us. Rice, I don't know. With Fund and Grow, did you create a funding entity? Oh, we went over that one. You already had that. This is the most messed up clickbait I have ever seen. Is that another hacker? Alexis Gates. So they do a personal credit check.
Yes, that's all they do. They will, once they pull your credit, they will then respond, usually within a day. As from my experience, was about a day later. I received an email introduction from my point of contact, who was going to be the associate assigned to my account, and we pulled credit like over the phone.
Sweet. Looks like we got someone that is a naysayer. No one gives you money with proper credit, Chris. You are just lying to people.
I should log into my Fund and Grow account and show everyone the balance. If you don't, I mean, good grief, why would I waste my time?
You have no idea what you're talking about. Stock market trading now. I love you. I love this when people do this. I've seen Chris's cards. He's got the cards.
No, so here's the funny part. If you don't want to do this, it doesn't benefit me or not, whether you do or you don't. I'm sharing my experience of what I was approved for. I'm not selling anything.
This is past. You've already got the money. This is not like something that you're applying for.
Correct.
Stock market, why are you messing with me? You know what? I needed a good Martin Luther King shock there.
Yeah.
I've seen Chris. Matter of fact, we use some of them. Alexis, are they providing bank credit cards for the business?
Yes, it comes in the form of a card.
No.
Yeah.
Ron, thanks for this great info. Do they look at all three credit? Oh, we did that one already. Maybe we can bring stock market on and they can tell us how much liars we are.
Yeah, right.
That'd be funny. I bet he won't come on. I promise you. Not sure. Steven, not sure if this was already covered. How many years does your business need to be open?
It doesn't need to be a business. You don't even have to have the structure set up when you apply. The lines of credit are based on your personal credit score.
Yep. So we got 135 people on here, Chris. We're hanging out with my boy, Chris Burch from the Washington, D.C. area, entrepreneur and real estate investor, already approved and got the money.
Funded cards.
Already approved, y'all. So it's not like he's going through this process. Matter of fact, he came in on a deal with us with that money. So round up, if you're looking to see how much you can approve for 2021, use my discount. The link is in the video description. I negotiated a discount with Mike Banks over there at Fund and Grow for you. This is cool. No requirement of 100,000 loan. Are you drunk? I'm gonna stop. Let me put him in time. No, I'm gonna leave him open. What should I do, Chris? Leave him open or time him out?
It's entertainment value for you and I. Maybe even for your roundup crew. It might be entertainment. I mean, why would we waste our time sitting here talking about something that has already been approved and used?
I'm gonna leave it alone. Alexis, okay, so 720. How do you find out what your FICO score is? They pull it, don't they?
They're gonna pull it, yeah.
Justin, how would I go about liquidating the cards to get the money? I have a 770 FICO. Good for you. But I don't have any of my cards reported to the business side. What cards would you recommend? Oh, he needs to get some cards.
Apply through Fund and Grow.
Yeah, they get the cards for you.
Yeah. I didn't know who they were going to go with. They came back to me with Bank of America, Fulton Bank, Chase, and American Express. They came back with the original, this is what you've been approved for. And as we said earlier, then they went and asked for balance increases.
So it's not like you said, I got this bank already, I did this, I did that. They set it all up for you.
Bro, when they see your FICO, your credit, they know which lender to go to.
Yeah, they're already processing it.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, these people have relationships with the underwriters. I've seen it done in a day. What would take you and me 3 months. Because once you get denied, you got to get the letter in the mail. Then you got to get on hold, calling them up for hang on hold for 2-3 hours. Who are you going to get on the other line when you call into these big banks?
Right.
I mean, shit, I can't stand calling Bank of America just to order a new debit card.
I know.
Alexis, and how old does your personal credit have to be? My credit card accounts have only been open for 8 months.
Well, it's not just your credit card accounts. It's everything that you've done within your personal Social Security number, whether you bought a house, you bought a car, you went to Macy's and got a Macy's card. Your credit score is based on your worthiness to pay your bills on time.
Gotcha.
So it's not other credit cards per se. It's how your credit worthiness has gone throughout time.
That's Chris Burch, y'all. cdinvestmd@gmail.com.
Yep, hit me up.
Dana, hey Dana, my husband James and I got off the phone with Fund and Grow. We'll be starting with them tomorrow. Thanks, Chris. Oh wow, good for you. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Go get your money. Grinding for greatness. Agreed. Just want to make sure you practice what you preach. I do not. Oh yeah, man. I'd use them, I guess, indirectly. People borrow the money and then come in, I guess, where Chris comes in with the deals with us.
That's true. Yeah. So, yeah, even though you didn't use hard money / Fund and Grow directly, your projects did because of investors like myself and others.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Good point, brother. Good point. Round coffee, no LLC, but have a business name registered. Would that work?
Once again, does not matter. You could actually be a business. You don't have to be a business to qualify for the approval.
Yep, they'll set it up for you. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen them do it.
Yep.
Hey, Healing, what's up, brother? Well, the program will be someone you can talk to that will walk you through and ask them questions, Chris.
They are so responsive. I usually do it by email because I don't have a lot of time to go back and forth on the phone with somebody. I'm busy doing other stuff where it doesn't afford me the time to sit there and talk with someone on the phone. I've done it a couple times when they had some, critical information that they didn't want to share via email. But yeah, they're so receptive. As you saw, someone else who was just here with us live already called them and getting hooked up with them tomorrow. So yeah, they're great.
They're on it. I'm telling you, they're on it. They got a huge office. This is not some company where you got 2-3 people there typing in a computer.
Yeah.
They got a building with floors that they have people servicing this stuff. So, Dana, what is the average interest rate?
I have no idea because the lines of credit that you will be approved for might be different lenders than I was approved for.
It's true.
The rates are going to be with whichever lenders you're dealing with. I don't know.
But yours was 0%. Tell them what yours was, Chris.
On the 4 lines that I was approved for the total of 105, I had 0% between 6 and 18 months.
0%, Dana.
Yep.
J Equity. I'm thinking of signing up this year. Is it as easy as they say with using plastic to wire the money to closing, Chris?
I didn't wire it. It came to me in the mail in the form of a card. Yep.
Gotcha. Brooklyn. So you, Ray test. So will you gain credit history from the usage of the cards?
Business, yes. Personal, no.
Dana wants to know, does this show up on your personal, since your personal credit is used, does it show up on your personal credit bureau?
No. The only thing that will show up on your credit report is the inquiry that Fund and Grow will do when you initiate your application, but they can remove that as well. Yep. Yep. So if I'm late, let's say my American Express bill, I make late payments, it will not affect my personal credit score.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's break it down. I did not guarantee any of this debt, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which card merchant does Fund and Grow use? I don't know if that
merchant. I have no idea.
You know that. Risk. In comparison to hard money, Fund and Grow is no brainer. That's true.
Yeah.
Scott, per my previous question, how did you get approval for that much? Did you ask for that number, Chris?
I had no idea. So I put in the application and I paid the amount because I figured with my longevity in business and my decent credit score, I'll probably get at least like 10 grand, right? So even if I spent the 4,900 at that time, which is now with Chris's discounts like 35, barely 3,500, you're still 6,500 ahead right there.
Yeah. Round up. This has been a good one, man. There's some good questions in here.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, but you don't know about the Caribbean, Chris. You can't answer that. Micaiah.
I guess if you are a U.S. citizen, I don't see why not. I don't know how Fund and Grow works internationally, but if you are in like the Virgin Islands, you'd be a citizen. So yeah, I don't see why not.
Dana wants to know, Chris, if you want to brief, she can rewind it, or you want to go over it again.
No, so the fee is either you pay up front using Chris's discount code that's in the video description below. You can use his code to get an additional $500 off what they normally charge, or you could apply today with zero money, and then Fund and Grow will deduct their fee, the 39. So you're not, I believe with this though, Chris, if you use the don't pay today, I'm not sure how the discount works. You might know this. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure it's something. If you don't, that's just how business works.
Right.
You gotta pay something to get it financed.
Exactly. Or you could do the other option where you can do installment payments. You can do like a third, a third, and a third over the next 3 months. Yeah.
And don't forget, once you do that third, you can still take the remainder out of the financing that you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's apply here. Is this better than a HELOC? Let's see. What? Rabbit Runner 22. Is this better than a home equity line of credit? In your opinion, Chris?
In my opinion, I'm going to say yes, because a typical home equity line of credit is an adjustable rate.
That is true. That's they're all adjustable.
Answer is you could try to refi out of it on a long term, but yeah, I guess every scenario is different. I'm not going to say yes or no. It just depends on. It depends on the use of the funds. What are you trying to do with the funds?
Steven, what if I want them to report on my credit? Is that possible?
I don't think so, because it's only based on your credit score, and it doesn't. They never post to your personal credit, so no. Keep in mind, guys, this is a business line of credit too. You know.
Fund healing. Will they make an LLC for you?
Yeah, I haven't done it, but in the application process, you don't have to already have a business structure.
Yeah.
Whether it's an LLC or an S corp. Someone else mentioned they set up an S corp for them. Yeah, they provide that service right there in the house.
There I go. Hey, my Roundup family. What's up, my friend? J Equity. We talked about that. Chris didn't use plastic. He didn't know. But they can pull. Yeah, the company they use. Chris, you didn't use them, so you can't speak from personal experience on that.
I didn't use them, but I've seen some of Mike's videos where they can do a direct deposit to something like plastic.
So that's up to J Equity Group. That's up to you. Well, this has been a cool one, Chris. So what are your final thoughts? We got 120 people on here watching, Chris. People need to get their financing together. I remember coming up through the ranks, not having money to buy. It sucked. Sucked. So if you're looking for financing, the link is in the video description. Get my discount. It's $500 off. Business credit lines. My boy Chris already went through the process. Final thoughts, brother Chris.
if you have a good use for it, you have a plan for it,
Mm.
have no hesitation that these people will take care of you. Everything I've requested of them, they've been by far above par with how they operate as a business. If you don't want to do it or you question it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
There's no sales pitch from either one of us. If you
Heck
want, do it. If you don't, don't. And yeah.
Options. I'm learning. I keep telling my daughter, the reason I'm so hard on you because I want you to have options. I want you to have options.
If I were trying to deceive somebody, why would I put my face all over the internet? That makes no sense. Unreal. Everything I try to do, I'm ethical about. I share what I know. I share my experiences, and it is what it is.
Yeah, you're real with that. Anyway, we're gonna have some trolls, man. It feels good to have a troll or two.
No, I wasn't even speaking to that one, but just in general, for someone who's hesitant, I shared my email address. Chris has his website on everything that he does. You could find either one of us pretty easily by a simple email, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
Or blasting us on social media. I can't let you blast me so hard, right? I gotta say something.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to say something, y'all.
Yep.
All right. Enjoy your New Year's. Happy Martin Luther King Day to you all. If you need financing, that link is in this video description. Hit that like button. Share with any other investors that you know they need to get some financing. They're trying to get a house. They want to grow their business. They want to hire somebody. They need to do a marketing campaign. They want to buy some equipment. They need to have pay for rent for a new location. All this stuff can be used for that. It's not just buying a house. Construction for me, I'm like even dealing with Chris. Paying for the renovation. So many different ways you can use this stuff.
Yep.
All right, Roundup. I'll see you guys soon. And make sure I'm going to put another link below. I got the foreclosure training coming up in the next few weeks. So y'all register for that if you want to. Or just give me an email address so I can keep in touch with you. See you soon, Roundup. Peace.